Willie D Live.
What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you represent. Throw up your flag. Family, I need you to smash up the like, smash up the like, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already on YouTube, after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. I'll let a few hundred of y'all come in, then I'm going in. But in the meantime and in between time, I'm going to give some shots out to the early birds. Let's see. Looks like I lost a connection on Facebook. Let's see if we can get that connection back right quick. Got it. Boom. Okay, here we go. OG, man, what up? Tito Sanders, what it do, Cleveland, Ohio? Mike Dan is in the building. What's up, Mike? What's up with you? Yeah, man. Them boys out there in Washington going to war. They fighting each other. Call the doctor. Call the doctor. I like it when they fight. I like it when they fight. Look at these two right here. These two. Boy, I tell you, it's more bickering and fighting and backstabbing going on between the president and U.S. citizens than the president and foreign so-called enemies. He's fighting more with his citizens than he fights with people abroad. Absolutely amazing. But let's get into it, fam. Let's get into it. It is the political breakup heard around the world. Donald Trump, your president, taking back his support for Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. Yeah, say she's wacky. She's a radical, she's a crazy, lunatic leftist, and a bunch of other words that her mother wouldn't like. But check this out. Here we go. Where's the sound? Come on, y'all. Where's the sound at? Okay. No one is no sound. There's no video.
A live look at the White House where President Trump says he is no longer supporting a once loyal ally, Republican Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene. This comes as the push for the Justice Department to release all Jeffrey Epstein files intensifies. CBS News correspondent Willie James Inman has the latest.
President Trump says he will no longer support Republican Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, calling the Congresswoman from Georgia, who had once been his staunch supporter, wacky. In a social media post on Friday night, the president took aim at Greene and said all she does is complain, complain, complain.
Marjorie Taylor Greene is not anyway, she is a very different thinking than I have. Something happened to her over the last period of a month or two where she changed, I think, politically. I think that her constituents aren't going to be happy.
The president's negative comments about Greene come as she continues to push for the Justice Department to release all files related to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
Let me say this before I get too far into this story. He says that all she does is complain, complain, complain. He's absolutely right. She does complain a lot. But so does Donald Trump. See, Donald Trump has mastered the art of accusing others exactly what he's guilty of. And just because somebody makes a statement that is true does not absolve them of guilt themselves. So you got to pay attention. Pay close attention to him, but not just him, but other politicians when they accuse others of doing something. Usually they're guilty of that exact same thing, but they know that if they can just verbalize it and accuse you of doing it first, people will look at them as if they're the truth teller. Yeah, I figured them out, y'all. I figured them out.
These women have been waiting, some of them for decades. I talked to several victims that were raped by Jeffrey Epstein back in the 90s. And so this is information that has needed to come out for a very long time, and the American people have demanded it.
House Speaker Mike Johnson said Wednesday that a bill that calls for the release of all the Justice Department's Jeffrey Epstein case files will be put to a vote next week.
Meanwhile, a number of restrictions that were imposed because of the record-breaking government shutdown are being lifted this weekend.
The FAA began rolling back mandated cuts to flights throughout the country. Museums in the nation's capital and the National Zoo also began reopening this weekend. And SNAP food assistance that have been put on hold for the month of November because of the shutdown are expected to be released in the next week. Willie James Inman, CBS News, West Palm Beach, Florida.
Well, before I go any further, let me just recognize the brother, Willie James. You know what I'm saying? Hell of a name, man. Hell of a name. So these two are boxing. They seem like, at one point, they seemed like lovers. You know, they were all, you know, I remember they were all up on each other, hugging and kissing and all that kind of stuff. And now they're going at each other's throat. Trump said that up until about a month or so ago, Marjorie Taylor Greene was good. You know, just something happened to her about a month or so ago. Did something happen to her, or did something happen to Charlie Kirk? Did something happen to her, or did something happen to Charlie Kirk? Because if you pay attention, that's around the time that she started switching gears. Yeah, man. What's that about? I ain't figured it out yet, but there is a correlation there. Let's get into this story right here. Now, you heard what she just said. Now, check out, just when you think that she's probably coming to her senses, she says something like this. Let me pull this up. So now she's hopeful that her squabbling with Donald Trump can be put to the side. Check her out. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene said she hopes she and President Donald Trump can make amends amid their fierce public feud over the controversy surrounding accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. I certainly hope that we can make up, Greene told CNN's Dana Bash on November 16th, when asked if the president and the Georgia Republican can have a path forward. I can only speak for myself. I am a Christian. So okay. All right, she said, I'm a Christian. And one of the most important parts of our faith is forgiveness. And that's something I'm committed to. One of them, yeah, I just remember a lot of slave owners being Christians. But you know, that's another story. Okay, anyway. Greene noted that she was, I can't get over it. I'm sorry, y'all. I can't get past it. Now, these images come in my head, not just slave owners, but I started thinking about all of these people during Jim Crow who were Christians, who were not so forgiving of Black folks, especially when every now and then when a Black person was either guilty of a crime or just accused of a crime, or even just any minor transgression, how they were so unforgiving and they wanted to hang him up. I mean, but hey, maybe she's talking about the good Christians. Maybe there's a difference. Anyway, Greene noted that she was once one of Trump's top allies in the Make America Great Again movement. But their rift comes as she pushes the House to vote to release all of the government's files on Epstein. The Trump administration has blocked the release in defiance of a campaign promise and now refers to the situation as a hoax. Remember, y'all, Trump campaigned on releasing those files. He had his people pumped up. He had the base pumped up like, yeah, we're going to release those files. We need to release those Epstein files. And then he messed around and got in and he said, wait a minute. not so fast. We don't need to release those files. And those same people who was for releasing the files and was so adamant about those files being released because they just knew that those files was going to bury Democrats, all of a sudden had a change of heart, and they started saying, the files ain't that important. We got bigger fish to fry. It's absolutely amazing how they switch codes. But anyway, Marjorie said, I stand with the rape victims. I stand with the children who are in terrible sex abuse situations, and I stand with survivors of trafficking and those that are trapped in sex trafficking. And I will not apologize for that, Greene told CNN. I believe the country deserves transparency in these files, and I don't believe that rich, powerful people should be protected if they have done nothing wrong. And so I'm standing with the people. I'm standing with women, she said. Actually, she said, powerful people should be protected. She said, let me back up. I believe the country deserves transparency in these files, and I don't believe that rich, powerful people should be protected if they have done anything wrong. And so I'm standing with the women, she said. So I got kind of tripped up right there because of the improper spelling and that's going on there. Punctuation. Okay. During the interview, Bash referred to a post from Greene on X in which the lawmaker said the back and forth really makes you wonder what is in those files. The back and forth really makes you wonder what's in those files. You know what, fam? The way I see it, there is no reason not to release those files unless they're trying to hide something. Think about it, fam. Nothing else makes sense. Nothing else makes sense. This is common sense. There is no good reason not to release those files unless they're trying to hide something. That's for y'all, you Trumpsters that's in the comments also. You give me a good reason not to release those files. I mean, this is Trump. Now, remember, he campaigned on releasing those files. Y'all should be more mad about this than me. Y'all should be more upset than I am. You should be more passionate about this than me. Remember, that's how he got y'all vote. So at the very least, you should feel like somebody took advantage of you. You should feel like you got tricked. You got conned, right? Shouldn't you feel upset about that? You know, because typically if anybody conned you, wouldn't you feel upset? If somebody lied to you, somebody misleads you, wouldn't you feel upset about that? Wouldn't you feel a little disappointed? Wouldn't you have less trust for that person? How is it that you find to have even more of an allegiance to Trump after he lied to you like that? How do you do it? That means that you really ain't as real as you say you are. That means that you really ain't as sturdy and as hard and as tough as you say you are. That means that your convictions can be bought. Y'all wanted those files released until Trump didn't want the files released. Trump said he wanted to release. They're the release is the most important thing. It's the most pressing thing that's hurting our country right now. We got to deal with that. We got to deal with those Epstein files, and we got to save those little innocent children. We got to get them justice. Now, all of a sudden, you're questioning what's wrong with having sex with underage kids now it's, was it really that bad? Well, how old were they really? Well, they were 15. If they were 15, that's underage, but it's not as bad as 6 and 7, Boy, they got an excuse for everything. They keep those excuses coming. So I say to you again, Trumpster, there's absolutely no reason to not release those files, and I mean every single one of them, if there is nothing to hide. And we know Trump would have released those files if that was really nothing to hide. If there was a situation where you could release those files and hurt Democrats, those files would have been released his first day in office. You know that, man. You know that, man. I say release the files, man. I say release the files and exonerate my president. Release the files. Because I don't think Donald Trump is guilty of anything. So release the files. Release the files. What's the problem? Release them. Get the files released. The American people need to know. Yeah, the American people needs to know how deep this rabbit hole goes. You know, I want you to pay attention to what I'm about to say. When I was younger, much younger, I'll go all the way back to elementary, a little bit of middle school. I always thought that adults ran the world. The adults who ran the world were mature and wise. I just thought, like they're mature and wise. These people on both sides are very immature and ignorant. And I'll take it a step further. Their constituents are also very ignorant, very immature. This is the only way you can get ignorant and immature leadership. You have to vote for it. You have to have ignorant and immature people voting for it. The U.S. has been compromised. The U.S. has been compromised. The U.S. has been bought and paid for. And the U.S. has been on this trajectory for actually hundreds of years. So I know some of y'all think that everything seemed kind of normal, but there's never been a time when there was a sense of normalcy in this country. It's always been murder and mayhem and corruption, right? It's always been murder, mayhem, corruption, chaos, rape, pillaging. It's always happened. It's just been, it's just been one of those things that, people try to spray potpourri on, right? It's always been like that. But now what you're seeing is leadership that don't even try to hide it. Leadership that has no class, leadership that has no cuteness about itself, leadership that has no tact. So you're looking at the leadership and you're going like, damn, they don't have any respect, no class. They don't even know how to talk. Like they talk like regular people in the streets. They cuss whenever they feel like it. I mean, they drop any kind of word you can think of, they'll say it. And there ain't no sanctions against them. Ain't nobody beating down the door trying to get them out of office for talking reckless. The only time they really are forced out of office is when they're telling the truth. When they become the enemy of the state, that's how you know they're probably doing work for the people. So let me tell you what's going to happen, fam. Trump is a transactional president. So it depends on how much ass MTG kisses over the next several days and weeks will depend on whether Donald Trump gets off the gas or not. But she's said a lot of things against him, so she got a lot of work to do to try to repair some of the things that she said. She got a whole lot of work to do just to get him off the gas. If she bows down and kisses the ring, Trump will let her back in, because she still is a voice, and she has done a lot of bidding for him. So if he can use her, he will. If she doesn't bow down and kiss the ring, if she doesn't stick to her guns, if she sticks to her guns, if she doesn't bow down and kiss the ring, if she sticks to her guns, she's going to be investigated. Trump is going to investigate her ass. He's going to find something. He's going to find something to investigate her about. Like, he's going to absolutely investigate her. Like, get her out of here. Yeah, that's coming. Believe that. MTG making sense in 2025 was not on anyone's bingo card. I'm seeing people in the comment section saying, wow, I've never agreed with her before. Wow, what happened? She sounds like a different person. Oh, now she's making sense. Oh, she finally woke up. Well, it sounds like to me she's ready to go back to sleep. It is something else when the president of the United States calls you a traitor for wanting to hold a child sex trafficker accountable. When anybody calls you a traitor for wanting to hold child sex traffickers accountable, it's a different day, y'all. It's a different day. It's a different day when Marjorie Taylor Greene takes accountability for anything. It's a different day. She is not reading from pages from the Republican playbook or even the Democratic playbook, because any of them seldom takes responsibility. Somebody must have gave Marjorie Taylor Greene some magic mushrooms. Because she's just like saying whatever. She's like going in, man. She's like going in. Somebody must have loaded her up with some mushrooms. Whoo, man. This is wild. This is wild. Like, America spend more time on messy stuff. The leadership, they're spending more time on messy stuff, going back and forth on social media than they do trying to solve critical issues that is disrupting the lives of Americans. Yeah, man. I would feel less of a man, less of a public servant. I would feel inadequate if I spent my time like that as a public servant. I would feel inadequate. I couldn't do a job and not get the job done. I would just feel inadequate. If I'm gonna sign up to get a job done, then I need to see some results for myself. for me to be inspired, for me to stay inspired. And I also got to be a man of my word. I also got to do what I say I'm going to do. And at the very least, knowing that because I am in politics and I do need cooperation, and there has to be compromises along the way. At the very least, I got to know that I tried my best. I tried. I can't just straight up just lie to the people and don't deliver anything, don't even try. I can't do that. Because it's bigger than the people. It's about me and my conscience. You see, I couldn't do it. But some of these guys, they go in and they know what they're doing. They know when they're telling that lie, they already know it's a lie. It ain't like they're saying they're going to do something and they believe they can really do it, or they believe they're really gonna do it. Nah, they tell the lie knowing that they ain't gonna do jack. Angela Dadnack, what up? Marcus B, Mike Dan, what up, Mike? Dexter Thomas. Angela Jefferson, salute. That's right. That's right. If you're from Houston, make sure you join the my Houston Facebook group. It is Houston Speaks, Real Talk with Willie D. Make sure you join that group. It's all things Houston, fam. And that's also where I will be giving my updates for my birthday bash for November 2026. So we're already working on that party, where it's not even just a party, but I can say it's an event. It's going to be big. It's going to be big, and it's going to be citywide. So that's where I'm going to break the news at, right there in that group. I'm not going to even break the news on YouTube. I'm going to break the news on my Facebook group page. So it'll easily be the biggest party that I've ever thrown, and I've thrown some pretty big parties. But this will be the grand one. This will be 60. Yeah, man, 60. This will be the big one. This is going to be a big one. So if you have not joined the page and you're from Houston, or you're interested in Houston politics and social issues and music, art, and all that kind of stuff, all things Houston, you want to go over there and join the page. In fact, I'll even make it easy for you. I'll give you a link to the page. I'll give you a link to the page right now. Let's see. Here we go. Here we go. All right, fam, there it is. Boom. Cheryl in your area. What's up, Cheryl in your area? DJ Moose. What up? What up, DJ Moose? Yes, y'all. Jessica Olsen. What up? Zyro. Let me tell you something, fam. You know, Trump called Marjorie Taylor Greene a traitor because she wants the government to release the Epstein files and expose child predators. She's a traitor, not because she does not want to punish people who have hurt women and children. She's a traitor because she wants to punish people who have hurt women and children. She wants to expose them. So I submit to you that if Trump calls you a traitor, that must be a good thing. That has to be a good thing. But I want you to pay attention, not just to Trump, though, because Trump get all the action, but pay attention to the other politicians that's involved that are trying to not release the files. They're just as guilty as Trump. So any blame that you put on Trump, you got to put on them too. And if you're serious about having proper representation and honest people in government, well, you got to vote them out too. You got to get rid of all of them, and you got to expose all of them, every single one of them that will vote to not release those files. And you better believe they're not going to vote to release those. They're not going to release those files. That's not going to happen. They're not releasing those files because there's something in those files that Donald Trump does not want the world to see. So they're not going to release those files. This is all a dog and pony show. They're going to vote on it, and then that way they say, well, at least we voted on it. So if we voted on it, you need to respect the opinion of your representative because everybody had a chance to vote on it, and we voted to keep the records sealed. I'm not trusting Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't trust her. I think she's a snake, and I think she's eventually gonna get back on track. She'll get back because most of those politicians, they love that power more than they love anything, and Trump gonna strip her of that power, that position. He's gonna run somebody else against her. He's going to run another Republican to try to get her up out of there. Yeah, they're going to make it very hard for her to stay in that position. Because Trump got his people trained. He got those Republicans trained. They're all scared of him. Every last one of them. They're all scared of him. Yeah, I don't trust her one bit. The rats are the first to leave when the ship starts sinking. Yeah, he released those files. It's going to be so many people on there. It's so many names. There's so many high profile people. They release those files. What it's going to do is let me just say it. It's not going to, first of all, it's not going to damage their careers. They're still going to get money. They're still going to keep their positions because the people who voted for them, they really are not, they're really not good people. So they don't care. They really don't care. They only care if it wasn't Trump. So it's not going to hurt their careers, but it will hurt their legacies. See, overall, down the line, they're going to have an asterisk next to their name because history is going to remember them for their association with Epstein and what is claimed that they did. That is what's going to happen. Right now, Donald Trump is putting Marjorie Taylor Greene's life in danger because they coming out calling her a traitor. And you know, a lot of them slowpokes that follow him, they brainwashed. Whatever, they believe anything he tell them. And they'll go do anything he tell them to do. So she could get seriously hurt. You know, what Marjorie is doing right now is she's showing people how a politician should represent the people, not left versus right, but right versus wrong. See, they should have handled Trump when they had a chance. When they had knocked the air out of him, once they got him out of office, they should have went in on him all the way to make sure he never got a chance to ever get the kind of power that he ended up with. The problem is the Democrats didn't have it in them. First, the Republicans were followers. They didn't have no balls. And the Democrats didn't have the balls to crush him. They should have known. Like if I would have been one of them dudes that had that power over there, if I would have been on that side, oh, I would have finished him off because I know he's the type. He got a long memory. He holds a grudge very well, and he'll do anything to get his way. He will do anything. So you got to be willing to do anything to make sure he doesn't get his way. You got to be willing to do anything. I mean anything. To make sure he doesn't bounce back, to make sure he never gets that kind of power again. And all them people that going crazy and making threats about, yo, I'm gonna do this, we're gonna do this, Trump, and we're gonna, all you gotta do is pop one and the rest gonna scatter. It's simple. It's that simple. Pop one and the rest gonna scatter. What's up, Ray Ray? Audit them. Chicago in the house. All right, a few more shout outs, fam. I'm gonna shut it down. Let's see. One here. Access to Rome. What's up, Reginald Johnson? Reginald Johnson. What Reginald Johnson is that? I don't know if this is the Reggie Johnson, but I know a Reginald Johnson. I owe a phone call to, so I need to make that call tonight. Jason Hunter. What's up, Jason? Bless one. All right, fam, that's my time. I appreciate y'all joining live. Until next time, enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. Pray for Trump. Just kidding. No more talk.